Can someone you know fuck with your most recent ex? Question mark. And if they do, what happens when you find out? Let's go in reverse order this time. Days, you could start this one.
And I was hoping I wouldn't have to. I swear I was. I saw this on the list. I was like, man, because I just was having this conversation. Well, somebody was having it. They was talking about. I'm gonna answer your question, but the dude was saying like, and I think y'all can relate to this conversation. Jay being my guy, he was talking about, being around certain dudes and you with a certain female and dudes trying to kick it to your lady. I said, well, dude, that's not your friend.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? My thing is, and we just had this conversation yesterday. Peep game. Now, if I see you see, but he talking about the X thing. We were talking about me seeing, let's say Dex, for example. I see Dex talking to somebody, and then I go right behind the person and talk to the person too after I just seen Dex. See, we was talking about like that. We were talking about the X situation.
Yeah, this is about the X.
Recent? You're saying like recent too, right?
The question is, I'll repeat it. So the question is, what happens if someone you know, can someone you know talk to your most recent ex? So
at this point, I would say good luck, nigga. Like, my bad, I had to get it out of my system. I said, you want to go with my most recent ex, nigga? Good luck, nigga. I'll usher you there. Like, you need a chaperone? God damn it. My bad. I'm sorry. I answered it truthfully.
That's all right. So now the second piece is so that's your final answer?
I'll take 500, Alex.
All right.
No final answer.
All right. So what happens when you find out? Let's say Nestor is now talking to your current ex. What happens when you find out?
I want to know what his mental, capacity is like. I want to know. No, well, jokes aside, somebody messing with my most recent ex. I'll be honest with you, and I'm saying we speaking real. I know who the hell my ex is. I don't know. I don't think I would be bothered at this point with that particular person. But if I find out it was him, I don't know. I would like to know how it came about. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how did it come about? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
All right.
Like, did you run into her at Whole Foods, nigga, in the produce aisle? Like,
produce,
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Both was copying the same almond milk.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Maybe she was checking out some cucumbers, you dig? And he just felt tempted.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Said he got something that's low calorie too.
Right. It's not a Newport, but it's still live with pleasure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, son, you got to give people time to laugh in between because y'all is crazy, son. I swear, I be seeing you and Dre be going in, but son, yo. It's too much material. Like, too many people saying things that's giving people material. So that'll be my response, though. I'm curious to see what other people's response are.
All right. Dex, you up?
There's a lot of factors here. How close is the someone you know who's want to hang with your ex? Did they know you? Did they walk around, hang out with you when you were a couple? You know what I'm saying? They really hang with you.
Okay.
Because then we got to question some stuff. This man's been coveting your chick this whole time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Then we got to question that. Right? So this is my homeboy. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's my homeboy. We've been hanging all this time. We break up a month later. Now they go into the movies. You know what I mean? You know,
right.
I mean, and he was hanging with me. So that's my thing. Is there's a lot of different factors there.
But Dex, can I ask you a question real quick? Who would you be more upset at? The person or her?
The person. Because he's been with me.
Because, like, what if
well,
she
she's
knew
a
that was
sucker
your
too,
boy?
but you know what I mean. But
okay.
Because the thing is, they've been looking at something's been going on, even though you don't care at this point. She probably was a pain in the neck or a horror, but still, there's something weird to know that behind the scenes, these two were kind of just looking at each other. I mean, all right, if it's like 2 years later, that's a different story. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think there's a lot of women out here. No, I can't say that. If it was like 5 years away and somebody's dating somebody used to date, who cares? But if it's like 3 months from now.
But what if it was 5 months away?
That's now somebody's coveting somebody. You know what I mean? Covetous. Being covetous. You know what I mean? So
Dexter, every time he hugged her, she grabbed his hand behind his back.
yeah, it's like
So Dex, same question. What happens when you find out?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm curious.
is this person really my friend? You know what I mean? Maybe if it was an acquaintance, we can't talk about a real friend. But even if it was an acquaintance, then I know. I mean, I guess if it was somebody who's an acquaintance, who cares? I mean, but still, you have to question what was, who was eyeing who in the past. You know what I mean? You know.
Okay.
I always think of this.
Andre, give it to me. I'm curious.
I always think of when I think of this, I think of like that Sopranos. Everybody here watch the Sopranos? You watch the Sopranos, right?
Of course, it's classic.
Yeah.
Remember when the congressman went to Tony and was like, "Yo, man, I'm dating the Russian chick now." Remember that? Everybody remember that at all?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
He said, "You okay with that, man? We really like each other." He was like, Tony was like, "Okay, it's cool, man. It's cool." By the end of the episode, he barged in drunk to the girl's house and beat the shit out of that guy in his underwear with a belt. All right, so you don't know how anybody's gonna react.
Facts. That's a fact.
You don't know how anybody's gonna react.
He was really upset.
You don't know how anybody's gonna react.
Yeah.
But that's that. That's a random digression.
No, that's
No, I
get it.
It's funny, man, because when you said that, I was actually thinking about, and I have seen that episode, but I was actually thinking about what we all seen, Scarface. When, he's like, "Yo, you could do what you want. Do not date my sister." Like that's the main joint. And they was like, "Tony, we got a surprise." Oh, well, I got a surprise now too. Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
And so,
about that, man. I see what you're saying. You know what's annoying about that though? Just look, this guy's volatile. Why don't you just say to Tony, "Look, I would like to ask for your sister's hand in marriage." Like, do it super duper proper. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
But that's why.
But you're right. Like,
see, you don't know how somebody's going to react. You know. That's
correct.
Yeah.
So that's why you hide it, because you're afraid of the reaction.
Well, my thing is, and I brought that up. My thing is, I think a lot of times we look at our relationships or the women that are in our lives as part of our property. You know what I'm saying? And that is why a lot of times we get so upset because, well, to be frank, that's my pussy. And I already labeled it and I don't want anybody to have it,
Right.
And if it's even weirder when it's like your family member or whatever. I don't want nobody talking to my sister. It's like, son, she's a grown woman. She got to make that. That's her pussy. She's going to do what she wants to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not being raped. She's, So that's my thing is that, I mean, I hear I hear like, okay, yeah, this person is my boy. This person is my friend. And I guess, as a friend, you would think the person would say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in so-and-so, and we're talking. But my thing is, if that didn't happen, I have to look inside myself because it's like, well, obviously I still have feelings for her. If I still have feelings for her and I'm, now I'm hurt because I feel like, man, like, yeah, we didn't work out, but why y'all working out? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's more of a me issue. That's like, I have to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's natural for everyone, even if you break up with somebody. I think it's natural to want to say, what do they see better in that person than me? Even if I broke up with her, like, especially if it's somebody you know. If it's somebody you don't know, who cares? But if it's somebody you know, there's an inner thing that maybe we have to battle, but you want to say, well, why you went after that guy for? Like, what you saw, like, you thought he was better than me or something? Like, even if the person was a nut.
See, I didn't want to talk about
it could be a million reasons. It could be a million. And I think a lot of times what we also have to understand is that people have fantasies. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to attribute these things to our women sometimes because we like to see them as like angelic creatures that do everything right. But a lot of times, your women have fantasies of fucking your boy. they have those fantasies. You know what I'm saying?
See, I didn't want to jump on that, but one of my OGs told me this, right? And I love the fact that I could have this response to Drake, because Dre's one of the OGs. Dex, of course, too, but I love the fact that Dre ushered this in there. One of my OGs told me, he said, don't think for a second that the whole time you with your girl, she not admiring your homies because you got sheer similarities.
Of course.
Yeah,
Keep it a
Dre,
stack.
great point.
Intellectual,
Actually, great point. You know,
patient. Certain people,
point.
that was
The
one of
point
the
is-
realest things my OG said to me. He said, because part of you guys being friends
Right.
is the personality similarities and certain interests
Yep.
and certain intellect and things like that.
This-
So the woman is going to pick
This is
up
a
on
topic that's
You know
going to
what I'm
come back
saying?
around in another podcast, by the way. Very good. Very,
We got to get my
very
guy,
good.
though. I'm waiting for
Very
my
good.
guy,
This
though.
is
I'm
this
waiting
is
for Janelle.
something. This is something going in a whole different place, but very good, very nice. I like that.
Listen, I said, I'm on the same platform with Dre.
No, but
So, Dre, you
it's
said it best.
true though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dre, you said it best, because the point is, you know, look, we have a lovely girlfriend. She might have an attractive friend. You know, I'm not saying everybody is lusting after the person, but she's attractive. The same thing can happen with your girl. You know, she might see it
Right.
because think they're attractive. She's not after them, but she think they're attractive. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So
Right.
you made a good
And
point.
so
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying, is that a lot of that stuff is inward. It's us feeling like somebody owes you something, or that this person belongs to you. You actually have to let that go. If that's your ex, you have to
Correct.
let that go. Now, you might have a relationship with your boy where I guess the contract or the parameters of your relationship is, you know, hey, I don't fuck with your ex, you don't fuck with my ex. If that's the way y'all get down, that's the way y'all get down. And if that person violates that, well, then they violated some terms of your relationship. But I can't say every dude in my life, that's the way they gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, some dudes is like, yo, like, y'all broke up? When? Yesterday?
Oh, my turn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I've always been after, I always wanted that. So now I'm gonna get my chance.
All right. So
You know, so it's like, yo, if I'm saying we broke up, we broke up, you know?
And you're not
I'm about to
expecting
make some
this
other
friend to
things.
have any kind of courtesy parameters. Right? I won't bring her around you. If he bring her around you and hanging after you've been together with her for a year, what do you think about that?
But see, my thing is that now I got to be real and be like, okay, you know what? I still have feelings for this person. Now, is he responsible for me still having feelings for her or whatever?
No.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I still got feelings for you. I know we broke up. She's moved on. She's fucking other niggas. Okay. So now what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do? I have to accept that. Well, one of these other dudes, or these one of these niggas is one of your dudes. All right. I got to accept that too. Or just be like, you know what? Because it hurts me, like I'm a human being, it hurts me because I still got feelings for her, that I got to tell son, I wish you the best, but I can't fuck with you no more. Well, why not? Why we can't be homies? Because it still hurts me. See, this is another part that we got to have this conversation.
Feeling about this.
We got to be real. Like, yo, honestly, it still hurts me. Like,
Right.
I still have feelings for her. I know we broke up, but so I'm just letting you know, I won't be fucking with you anymore. But yeah, you know, y'all live y'all life. Y'all have a great time. But for me to heal means I got to step away from both of y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to torture myself hanging out with you, knowing you fucking with somebody else. I still got feelings for her. I'm a fucking human being. You know, I'm not a robot. What the fuck you want from me? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit.
So the follow-up question, what happens when you find out?
Oh, yeah.
What happens when I find out? I might have a conversation with him. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I heard y'all was talking. Oh, okay. All right. And I'll probably say what I just said. If I have feelings for her, I'm going to say what I just said. If I don't give a fuck, I'm going to be like, yo, son.
Be honest.
I'm be like, yo, son, she like it when you smack her on the ass. I'm just going to let you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Then I'll let you go, Janelle. Like, there's a song, old Jamaican.
Nestor.
Nestor, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Nestor, I'm sorry. But there's an old song from like the 90s, you know, reggae wave that used to go, poom, poom, cut into two. Half for me, half for you.
That's
son, you here with me? You there with me?
Boom, boom, cut it into
Come on, man.
Yo, half for me. Wait.
I'm going to drink to that.
Who you got?
He brought it back. That was the joke. Boom, boom,
You
come
remember
to
that?
for me. And God,
You
that's
just
who used to
had
try
to
to
pass
party
it on to
crazy.
somebody else. You ain't even get mad. You know, it's like, yo, come on, let's cut it too. What you getting upset for?
You start passing girls around and
Yeah,
shit while you doubled in the party.
whatever.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right.
Let's go,
I
Ness.
can rock
Let's
with
go,
that.
Ness. I see you
All right.
inquisitive
That's
mind.
the bring it home. That's the bring it home.
Rubbing his
Bring it
beard.
home.
Rubbing his
I'm
beard
not
like
gonna-
mosquito living in.
not gonna take a lot of time with this because a lot of like what I had to say has just been said.
All right.
So
Reiterate.
yeah, basically the way I personally feel about it, so it's two different parts, right? It's time since the breakup, and it would be how close that person is
Okay.
to you. So if it's somebody really close to you, well, for me personally, it may not bother me at all, regardless of those two factors. Just because for me, things that are past are past.
So if next week I'm with your wife, it's all good.
Right.
Okay. I'm
That's
asking.
how it is when we find out.
I'd be curious as to like how things happen so quickly, obviously.
Right.
But so that'll put me in questioning of you versus, well, we already split, so
Well, that's what I was saying. You're gonna be curious about. I will
while
be curious.
whatever each of you do isn't my business, the fact that it is something that happened so quickly put me into questioning, hey, what was going on during the relationship?
Man, my thing is there's so many women out here.
Word.
So yeah. So as far as like the time thing, that's the only thing that would really affect me is hey, what was happening while things were happening?
Okay.
And then I would go along that same route, like what Dre was saying. Hey, we can't chill no more. We can't talk no more, or even just put distance between me and that person until such time where like I can process whatever it is I'm feeling about everything.
Okay.
You know, I had this conversation with the queen. I said, like, to some men, when it comes to women, it's a dominance thing, a conquering thing, right? So when you look at that, you know, Shorty got conquered by your man. You know, that changes the aspect of things. Like for me, I like a woman who could fight temptation. You get what I'm saying? Oh, that's not the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make was that's what happens when you get the girl that everybody wants. I wanted to bring that up. Somebody else brought that topic up too. Like when people go after people that everybody want, like hot commodity individuals, like we all might be hot commodities somewhere else in a whole nother environment. We may not even know that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, whatever woman attracts you, she got to know that everybody else wants you too. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, they some people might respect it while y'all together. Some people might not, you know, slide in a DM or whatever. But like Dre was saying, once they get the green light, niggas is pressing on the gas. You feel what I'm saying? Because everybody wanted her, and you got her, and they still wanted her while you was with her. Some people might even felt like you shouldn't even had a turn. You understand what I'm saying? Or you jumped in on their turn. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question.
You can't forget that. Is that a factor as well? No, but I'm saying, like, does that play a part as well? Like, the fact that the girl could be the girl that everybody wanted, and you got her, you've been with her, like, 3
So
years.
that's where my situation comes in a bit more unique here, because I'm polyamorous. So I believe that it is definitely possible for people to hold feelings for multiple people at once.
Okay.
And I definitely believe it is possible for multiple relationships to exist at once.
Okay.
So it's
That's
definitely
another
not
good topic
something
for
that
down the road, man.
would be.
That's a good topic for down the road.
I'm loving
Good
it.
one down the road.
I'm loving
I'll tell
it.
you. Write that down.
I want him to elaborate.
Hold on. So, yo,
Yeah, Dex.
hold on.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good topic, man.
Yo, first of all, I'm gonna just say this, and then I'll let Dex go in. I'm just glad that they made up that word polyamorous, right? Because when I was doing that shit, they called me a player. But hold
Wrong keyword.
on. But
Wrong
now
keyword.
that women are doing it, it's called polyamorous now. You know what I'm saying? When it was just something that men was doing, it's like, oh, you a player. You a player. You know how many times people was calling me the player in the 90s, 2000, you a player. Then all of a sudden, I look up, all these chicks are talking about they polyamorous. Oh, okay, so you want more than one dick in your life. All right. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm like, I've been doing that shit for fucking 20 years, but I was looked down upon it. But now everybody's doing it because it's a technical term. All right. Whatever.
What you was gonna say, Dex? And I want to jump in on the topic. Dex?
Oh no, I was going to just.
Yeah,
You said you
I
want to say
was
something?
just wanted to get. I just wanted to ask. All right, who did this happen to, man? Come on, did anybody experience this? Listen, who did this happen to? Let's just get.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I was gonna keep it real. I've been in both sides.
Who did this?
Well, I felt like mine was the most raw, authentic. Everybody else was coming up with like hypotheticals and shit. Like I got straight to the point. I was like, whoever go after my beard, good luck.
All right.
You know, I could have came up with some hypotheticals too.
I can only bring out hypotheticals. My experience isn't that deep.
Yeah.
So I've been on both
Go ahead,
sides
Jay.
of this. I've been a person who dealt with someone's ex, and I've also had people deal with an ex of mine. I think that if you want to mess with the ex, it's fine. I kind of go towards what Dre said about me having to deal with my part, right? So when I was the person, I was asked, hey, I know you and so were in a relationship. I know it wasn't that long ago. How do you feel? And so we had that conversation, but I was approached. I've also been in a situation where I wasn't approached and found out later on down the line, which made me question some of the things you guys said, internal, but also it made me question the relationship between me and the other guy, right? Is this person a close enough friend for me to feel away? Should I feel away? Should I not feel away, right? So in that situation, when I found out, I didn't have a conversation because when I did my internal check, I realized me and this guy aren't that cool. We may have been beginning to get cool, but honestly, if it was the other way around, I might not have asked him because we're really not that close. If it was one of the people here on this podcast, totally different conversation. So when it was the other way around, I asked. I said, hey, I know you was with this person. It seemed like they kind of feeling me, but I don't want to move forward regardless of what I feel or don't feel if you're uncomfortable. And the person said, I appreciate you. I'm not comfortable. I said, okay, then that's it. It doesn't happen. That's as far as it goes then. And he said, yeah, but I said, no, that's it. It's over. If you're not comfortable, the situation ends there because your friendship means more to me than whatever could happen over there. So that's why I thought it'd be a good topic to bring up. Also, on another podcast I listened to, this topic was brought up, and there were a lot of big reactions. I said, oh, that's interesting. People seem to be more reactive than proactive. So I said, okay, once we agreed to do this pod, I said, I got to bring this here and see what happens.
That's the thing too. Like that's always what I see.
All right, one at a time. Nestor and then Dex. Go ahead, Ness.
That's what I always happen to see when this topic comes up is all these like huge, just oh no, fuck them, and all this, and it's like chill out, like it's not that serious, really. Like one, it's your ex, like you are no longer involved with that person. There's a reason you're no longer involved with that person.
Right.
Like you shouldn't be worried about what they're doing with their life. And then depending on how close that other person is to you, and like I said, depending on how close, depending on how soon, you're definitely going to feel away.
Yeah.
But you have no say over what that person does.
Right.
And so it's just up to you to decide, like, hey, am I really going to just give up this friendship because they happen to like this same person that I liked at one time, or whatever it is.
Right.
And then also, if you're having such a big reaction over an ex, maybe you should reevaluate how you feel about that person and what's going on and why you're reacting in such a way.
Right.
Well, some people factor in morale and principle.
Yeah.
You know, and you see,
I
like,
think we all agreeing here. We're just taking
situations.
totally different angles of this thing. By the way, sorry, sorry about this.
Just going based on what he said specifically, what he just said right now. You know, morale and principle. I think that's why some people might have, and even lack of emotional intelligence. You know, when they ask the question, some people might be triggered because they might think about something, and now they have that wild outburst. But going back to morale and principle, you know, everybody don't understand the same principles. You could go to the store and do something and come back, and you might, you know, see something so small, but the person might be having such a reaction because they're like, yo, but it's the principle. But you're like, bro, it ain't that serious. It was just a bag of chips. But they like, bro, it's the principle. You know, you're my guy. I asked you to get this for me. I really wouldn't expect for you to forget about me because I mean that much to you. See, that's where the principle, the morale part come in. And just going back to your point, you know, they might be factoring that. Like, yo, but this is my guy. It's the principle. Because when you think about it, too, like, if you're around somebody, right, and you see how their relationship go, you know, there's a respect thing. Like, you respect that man. You respect how that man loved that woman. You respect how he dealt with that woman. You respect how their relationship was. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I think if you could supersede that and still deal with his lady after the situation was over, I don't really think you respect him. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really think you respect. This is just another perspective. You know, this is, you know, not my personal feelings. I'm speaking openly. You know, I probably could see that as well, but like I was saying, you know, there might be some lack of respect there too.
Okay.
You know, because as men, as people, we could be very competitive. I was just having this conversation yesterday. People just being very competitive. I could do better, or I could do better. I could treat her better. You know what I mean? I could do better than how he did.
Right.
You know? And in order for you to be feeling like you could do better than me in something or at something or with something, then you have to be looking at me as inadequate in some way, shape, or form. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
But with that feeling,
Dex, I know you wanted to say something.
Okay.
no, go ahead, finish up, Dre. Go ahead. I remember.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, so yeah, I was gonna say, you know, y'all ever saw that movie, the Italian Job?
Yeah.
Where this dude, only thing he liked is what the other people liked, right? And sometimes you have these wolves out there that, you know, because I heard all that positive stuff that, you know, that Days was saying, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice, but wolves don't think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Wolves are like, yo, you know what? I like it because you like it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to cause you heartache and pain, so I'm going after it. You know, because the moment you feel like, oh, I don't really care about her, they lose interest. But if you in talking to that person, you know, you in their ear, you telling them, yo, man, I don't understand. Yo, man, that was like the woman of my dreams, and I really loved her, and I can't sleep at night. I just think about her all night. That wolf is like, word, I didn't know you felt that way about her. Now I'm definitely going after it because you feel this way about it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just messed up, but it's people will envy the things that some people anyway will envy the things that you value and want to take that just because you value it. And you got to look out for those wolves. You know what I mean?
True that. Dex?
Awesome. I love it. It was a great conversation. Two things. Someone thinks you're an
You didn't have something else to say, Dex?
No,
okay.
I think we're all saying the same things, but hitting it from good different angles. I like that. Everybody's kind of saying different things and building off of it, each other. I love that. But I was thinking about two things. Days and Dre, I'm listening to y'all, both of y'all. Someone that is competitive, thinks they're inadequate, and they're hanging around with you. You think, does that person try to make a move while you're still dating, or you just think this is a person who's going to pounce once you break up with her? What do you think?
I say both.
Both.
I agree. I'm with Dre.
Okay,
I was gonna say both.
Yeah.
All right, and then in other words,
Because remember, the point is Because to go to your point, remember, we can't forget that he thinks
Right.
you're inadequate. So if he thinks that you're inadequate, then he thinks that he could do everything
Right.
better than you.
And
Feel
of
what I'm
course,
saying?
the one,
Even seducing her.
right. All right, fair enough. Dre, you answered my question. I was about to say, those wolves, are they friends or acquaintances?
Well, that's the thing. You know, a lot of times you don't know that wolf because you know they're around
Yeah.
and they in
Right.
sheep's clothing
Right.
and they giving you daps and they like, yo, son, you know, round on me and you feel, oh, okay, yeah, getting your guard down.
That's
But
my
then when
guy.
you start analyzing them, you realize like Days is saying, like, man, every time I say 7, this dude say 8. Every time, you know, I go one
Yeah.
block, he got to go 2. You know what I mean? Like every time, you know, I get the 6 inch, this guy got to get the 12 inch. It's like, yo, what's going on with this guy? You know, you start realizing, like, yo, why are you competing with me with everything, man? Like, we chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then you know, I've had enough experiences, me personally, where I've had so-called friends shit on me, where it was just like, okay, now I can see it a mile away. But there was a time in my life where I was like, damn, I got caught off blindside. I thought you was my dude of dudes, and you just you did that for that.
Right.
Nasty, you know.
So can we say trauma plays a part as well?
Sure,
Because
sure.
I think that trauma affects people's perception of things, and I think that goes back to Jay's question about like how would you feel if somebody, we going back to the original question about how would you feel if somebody messed with your ex and if you find out. I think trauma plays a huge part in how you perceive or how you receive that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't really talk about that enough. They'll talk about being triggered, but the thing is, you need to deal with those triggers. So now people don't got to be making omelets around you everywhere you fucking
Right.
go.
Well,
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
and there is a thing. There is
know
a
what I
thing
mean?
called being trauma informed, right? So it's like you've been walking
Okay.
around thinking, you know, life is just lollipops and rainbows until somebody come around the corner, slap the shit out of you, and take everything from you. Then you realize, oh, wait a minute, life is not lollipops and rainbows. I gotta have my guard up. You see what I'm saying? So now you don't walk around thinking life is lollipops and rainbows. You have your guard up. So it's like, yes, that trauma informed you of some reality. You know what I mean? So it is that too.
But what about the false skepticism? Like, you ever seen the meme where it says a person does something genuine for me, and my traumatized ass think it's a setup.
That's true too.
Where people were being, you become this skeptic. You're being inconspicuous about everything.
Yeah.
But that's because you haven't dealt with the trauma.
Right.
Right.
Well, remember he said, but he said that it informs you and you put your guard up. And I'm saying, like, they could deal with it, and you know, now they got their guard up, but it's about balance. I don't know if that goes to your point about dealing with the trauma.
Yeah.
There's a balance and knowing when to, when not to.
Yes.
You know, when, but people pretend so well.
Right.
That's a topic
You know,
for
going
another
back
time.
to Jay's, you know what I mean, to what Dre would say, people pretend so well, man.
Yeah.
You like he said, you thought that was his homie, his ace boom coon. You feel me? Like, people pretend very well, man. Those wolves, they wear that sheep so well, man.
Yeah.
They pull up with a sheepskin coat, goddamn it. I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.